Hey everybody, it's Romania Black. We're watching Twittering Birds Never Fly, The Clouds Gather. So I don't know much about this series at all. It's my friend Wu on Patreon was telling me about it. It is part one of a three-part trilogy of movies that are going to be coming out through Sentai, I believe, and it's based off of this manga, maybe light novel, Twittering Birds Never Fly, but it's basically about this head of a Yakuza organization, which is why I'm like, I gotta be classy tonight. I've got my cocktail, I'm ready to go. Um, Watching this wonderful film that, if you watch the trailer reaction, looks pretty interesting. Um, so I'm pretty excited about it. I love the film noir crime drama genre. Like, if you've watched my reactions to Banana Fish, that is right up my alley. So the whole idea of Yakuza and bodyguards and the secret underground world, I'm all about it. So it was already checking off several boxes, and then when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. So I am very excited to watch this. I'm excited that they're doing three movies, and so what this format was is you just bought the movie, and I've got so much time to watch it. So I was like, sure, let's do this. But I hope you all really enjoy it. Because of copyright reasons, I am probably going to edit this a little bit. However, if you have watched my trailer reaction, I am going to gift this out to two people on Patreon and on YouTube. So yeah, but I have no clue what to expect other than, obviously, this head of the Yakuza organization seems like he is infatuated, or his bodyguard is infatuated with him. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm curious to see where it goes to. So, with that being said, we're going to watch Twittering Birds Never Fly, The Clouds Gather, and I hope you all enjoy this reaction. This should be a lot of fun. So, we're going to start this reaction here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Huh. Y'all. Y'all. Um, yeah, so there's that. Okay, so there is a sequel. Okay, so there's a sequel movie. The storm breaks. Why y'all gotta do this to me? Just leave me with this and then tell me, oh, this was just a cliffhanger for a sequel. So I'm assuming he lives, or it's just a prequel and he dies anyway. I wanted more with him and Kageyama, and I guess that's what the Storm Breaks is about. But what about Domeki? Y'all. Oh. Mm. I This is such an intriguing relationship between these characters, of this Yakuza guy who seemingly just pushes people away, and then this simple-minded, beautiful man Domeki that is so compassionate and just loves this man, and then both of them slowly there's so many different things that were brought up in this about the Yakuza and choosing the lifestyle, and once you get in you can't get out, and him being like, I don't want people close to me because he's like a head and he's in constant danger. And then like all the subtle foreshadowing that Domeki is like getting to that point, like all the references, all the gestures, the hair touching, the hand, like the voyeurism there, like y'all, oh my gosh. And just the idea of this, I like this conversation about sexuality, and he asked him, he's like, well, are you just into men? He's like, I don't think so. And it's like, well, you said I'm beautiful. And then talking about it, it's an interesting play on the childhood friend trope, because Kageyama is the childhood friend, and it's a funny thing for Yashiro, because he makes this comment about pseudo homosexuals, like he caught all these Yakuza men and guys that have clearly probably that have sexually abused him and had sex with him. He's like, how much of it was really you being into guys and how much of it was something else. And it's an interesting play on the childhood friend trope, because Kageyama is the childhood friend that is attracted to men, even though Kuga's the first guy he's ever been with. But Yashiro thinks that, and then Yashiro coming to grips with the fact that it's unrequited, like he's not gonna be with Kageyama. And I like the idea that Kageyama and them were separated for a while, and then when they came back, that was the only path for him. Like, crime was the only way for someone like him in that home life to go. And it's so sad. Um, but man, the sister, that whole messed up thing, and it being Domeki's dad, and Yashiro is a weird character too because they keep saying he's not empathetic, and it's clear that perhaps in the past, and he even admits it towards the end there, he's like, in the past, yeah, that's how I was, but that's not me now. So it's like, yeah, okay. um yeah, so I want to see the second movie now. I want to see the second movie, but I'm gonna be honest, as much as I've wanted to see more Kageyama and Yashiro backstory, I'm gonna be mad if we get a Yashiro backstory thing with Kageyama and then it turns out he's died. And Domeki has to, because Domeki, he was shaking in the elevator like he was so sad. I'm like, dude, he deserves better. So much better. Oh, y'all. Like I said in the end credits, I feel like this manga there's stuff left out, and it makes sense now if there's a second movie. If this is just the cut off, the cliffhanger. But what a cliffhanger! So now I'm ready for the second one. I've got to see now how this ends. What ends up happening here? But Domeki's best boy. There's no other reasoning, like rhyme or reason. Like, I want to see more with these two. What I want is for Domeki to come clean to Yashiro and tell him like what's been going on, and for Yashiro to realize that, oh, I'm having this effect. But I swear, if he's dead, I'm gonna flip this desk. I didn't realize when they said they were doing 3 movies. I didn't realize they were all in sequence. I thought they were just 3 stories dealing with this, but I didn't realize, I guess my brain didn't put 2 and 2 together until just now. And that's made me somewhat relieved, but also, so yeah. So that was good. I'm intrigued. You've got my curiosity movie. Now it's hooked me and I've got to watch the second one. So, I was not expecting that ending at all. Was not. That came out of left field. I mean, I expected him to get shot when it was happening. I was like, are we really doing this? But when he went to get the jacket, but I didn't think that's honestly how we'd end the film. Well. So, I hope you all enjoyed this reaction. Feel free to comment with your thoughts down below. I feel like I have many thoughts, but most of them I've talked about in the film while I was watching it. But yeah, just the idea of the Yakuza and how Yashiro has kind of shaped his existence and his life, and Domeki. It's funny because it reminds me a little bit of Banana Fish. I know I'm reacting to it at the same time. It reminds me, Domeki, his relationship with Yashiro reminds me a little bit of Ash and AJ, and Domeki and AJ being similar in that they're just these pure beings of just genuine honesty. Like, they're just honest people, and they've been put into the lives of these characters that have a shaded past, or have, like Yashiro talks about being an entertainer and thinks he would be good at it, and it's the idea that you put on a show. And so all this this sexual deviancy and everything is it's really a show. There's some like psychological trauma he's experienced that he's incorporating into this whole thing, but just the idea that these characters that have put on a persona being kind of having that stripped away by these individuals. So in the case of Banana Fish, it's Ash having the varnish and the persona of his hard gang member status being stripped away by AJ's honesty. And here it's the same thing. It's Yashiro, his persona as being this Yakuza sex crazed, like not empathetic, dispassionate person being stripped away by Domeki being like, no, you're a beautiful person and you really do in your own strange way care. It's just not what we would consider normal by societal standards. And it's like, I'm just rooting for this pair of individuals, and now I'm like, what do we do? Where do we go to from here? So, I don't know, y'all, but I just know now I'm kind of hooked. I want to see what happens to him. And Domeki reminded me a lot of Ushijima from Haikyuu in this. Just that stoic, serious. My sense of humor is very flat and dry, and him in the cop costume that whole time, so good, so good. But just seeing the subtle changes in him from the start to the end of this film, where him slowly, both of them having visions of each other, and so I'm wondering, I'm like, come on, second movie, you can't just make this a prequel and that be the only thing. Because they set up, they show Yashiro having envisioning when that one guy was like having sex with him, envisioning Domeki instead, and then in the porno theater you have Domeki envisioning Yashiro instead. So it's like you've set all this stuff up and you've put all this stuff out here on the table for us, and now we're just gonna have to sit here and be like, what do we do with this? Frustrated. Frustrated the movie. There's another word I have for it, but I'm not going to say it. The movie. So, it's just blue balls, the movie. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that reaction. Please feel free to comment down below. That was interesting. And now I want to know that Yashiro lives. I want the movie to give me that. But I don't know if it will or not, so... In the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and I'll be back soon with more reactions, and hopefully when it comes out and we're able to watch it, Twittering Birds, the storm breaks. So we had the clouds gather. The rain is obviously this moment with Domeki and him, and potentially him dying, and then the storm breaks. Maybe the sun will come out. I don't know. But yeah, next time when that movie comes out, we're reacting to it. So I'll see you all then. Bye.